we're going to bring... he wants Kiki. Let's play the Kiki music. Come on, I want to hear that.
Well, let's just face it that Jordu is a super dynamic personality. We all need an interjection into our bloodstream of Jordu right now.
Absolutely.
And, you guys have been enjoying Jordu's work pretty much all day yesterday and today because he essentially made these fabulous zombies happen.
Absolutely. Let's give him a round of applause for that.
Jordu Schell.
Yeah, Jordu Schell. Amazing sculptor, makeup artist, designer. One of the first 5 people hired on Avatar as the Malibu 5. Plucked from an array of individuals by Jim Cameron himself to design creatures on Avatar. And is an amazing artist.
And I think we want to thank our fabulous zombies. You guys have been incredible.
They have put up with an awful lot.
Yeah,
4 hours in the makeup chair at 6 a.m.
4 hours in the makeup chair. You guys look amazing.
Allison and Joe.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so
I'm
much.
gonna leave you be now.
All right, Keek, thank you.
You got it.
So, Jordu, how you been?
Hello, Siggraph. Hello, E3. No, wait, Siggraph.
Yeah, Siggraph. So what I want to tell you about Jordu, my experience. Okay, first of all, this man is zany. He was described yesterday as
criminally insane.
As fun as a wacky bag of weasels or something like that. Yeah. So, but Jordu is so talented. I mean, I know him personally, and he's a friend of mine, and we go to dinner and we do things together. And he's so entertaining and funny and witty. But what you have to know about this man is his skill set and what he has done in this industry. He is a leader of creature design, sculpture, makeup, all kinds of things. He's given his life to learn and as a young man and to study this art form and to
I've
push
given
it
my
forward.
life.
You have. You spent your life. You told me
I
the
didn't
story.
give it. That's sort of like saying I served my country and died.
You didn't die.
I didn't die.
But but you created zombies that did die, and But what my point being is that you, as a very young man, were inspired by creatures and monsters, and
yes.
and you were inspired. You said last time we spoke about the film Alien and how you felt that.
Well, really... I mean, I consider myself to some extent not only a creature designer and a horror movie and science fiction enthusiast, but I also am sort of a creature historian. I've delved into the history of how monsters have been created. And I'm not just talking about cinema. Why am I going to sneeze in the middle of an interview? That's lame. Oh.
Yes.
Here's some stuff I did. Here's a troll monster head. There's an alien I did. These things are not created in Lightwave. They are actual things I sculpted in clay, made a mold of, cast in polyurethane or latex, and airbrushed. So they're all completely actual, real, three-dimensional things. But I've studied creatures, since the very earliest, ancient Egyptian myths and Greek myths. What's so funny? I don't know why that's funny. What's going on? What's going on? What? My zipper's down. What?
No, nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, but I've always been fascinated by it, following the works of Goya and just Goya. No, I can't remember any of the others. Francis Bacon, Hieronymus Bosch, all the way up through, of course, all the stuff in the last century, and the film monsters that have come along. So here's a maquette I did for the movie Dawn of the Dead, by the way, up there. And now this is an interesting story. Here's a design I did for the movie The Hulk, and I was told by someone at ILM that the director thought it was too angry and too muscular. That this actually really happened. I don't see a reaction out there in the crowd, but that's because you're probably bored stiff. That's cool. We'll change that. Now, while I was sitting here watching the numerous interviews that Rob has done, I ended up wanting to make some points and also ask you some questions about the software, because I don't know anything 3D programs at all. I have a couple questions for you. First of all, what's a pipeline? What is that?
Okay, so
The hell's a pipeline?
so a pipeline.
What is that?
Okay, it's a buzzword that everybody uses to describe the system that you put in
Are we
place.
having an earthquake?
No, I don't think so. Are we? You're the earthquake.
Oh.
So here's what's happening. Oh, I'm dropping my mic. Uh-oh, technical difficulties. Sorry. Too many donuts or something. I don't know what happened at lunch. But a pipeline is what describes the system that is put in place to facilitate delivery of a shot. Meaning, at a studio, you have to traditionally have several different pieces of software and hardware working together to get all the way down the process. For example, at Walt Disney Feature Animation, for example, they have a pipeline that is set up a specific way. Much of that is built on the tradition of 2D animation that Walt Disney pioneered in his gang of the old men gang and all of that. But they have a system based on look development where they have artists sitting there with rapid prototyping and kind of come up with a look for the thing. Then when they like that, they pass that to a different department. They have an effects department that may do the splashes in the hair on Brave. They have, all that kind of stuff. So basically, a pipeline describes, and it's not one thing, it is a system that a studio would use to facilitate delivering the final film, TV show work. And pipeline is a choice.
Is it like a workflow?
It's a workflow. Can you imagine Jim Cameron having both of us in his house? It was crazy, especially him.
No, I mean, the weird thing about me is I wasn't intimidated. I mean, I knew he was a director, sort of. No, I knew that he was an important guy, and he had made multi-million-dollar features and all this, but I wasn't, I don't know, I'm not one of those people, and maybe this is why I haven't gone nearly as far in Hollywood as I might have. I'm not one of these, like, oh my God, you made a movie. I was just silly with him, and he actually seemed to appreciate it.
Oh, he did. I mean, I was there when you said some really funny things that caught me a little off guard, but I think
can't be repeated.
Yeah,
Sorry.
can't be repeated. But I think he enjoyed your. I think he enjoyed your candor, because you got to imagine someone that is that powerful and wealthy and successful.
You mean?
You and him. Other people try. But a lot of times you might have people coming around that are just kind of brown nosing or whatever. You never did that. You have your career, in my experience, has been based on the actual work. He's got a studio over there. You get to go and learn from this master. I mean, if you're a 3D artist and you've never taken a real practical sculpting class, you want to really amp your art up to a level where you gain the skill set that you need. Right here is your opportunity, because he's a genius.
Well, let me. The genius part is right. No, it's not. But what I want to say is, the majority of the people that I get in my classes come from a 3D background. That is a digital 3D background, the fake 3D. But I'm going to get beat up outside, I know it. But the point is, these people come to my class from gaming companies, from visual effects companies. I've taught at Industrial Light and Magic and Tippett Studio and DreamWorks and Disney. The thing is, they want to get a better handle on how to actually create things in real 3D, because it gives them a better handle on how to create things in the computer. And while I'm definitely being a bit of a holdout on learning these programs,
we're working on that.
It's becoming more and more attractive the more I sit in the audience and watch. The guy who did that dinosaur shit, I was like, oh no, that's amazing, And I love the guy's book. That guy,
Sean Hargraves.
Places.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to create images like that, sets like that, virtual sets, and put my creatures in them. I mean, can you imagine that in one of his environments?
Absolutely. I mean, and one thing that you mentioned yesterday that I think was so useful was when you talked about how the simplicity of form really drives the process. Can you share that? Because I think the streaming audience and everyone here, it's a very important point.
Well, it's funny. One of the things I wanted to mention while I was up here are some of the things that I see wrong in 3D. Now, this is not to insult the software or any of the artists. I've been blown away time and time again by the stuff people are doing. However, there are some things that are wrong, okay? First of all, and one of the most important things to me is when you're creating a creature, it is very, very important to understand how nature designs. Nature has a style, and it repeats it again and again and again. I don't care if it's planet Xenon or planet Yorgon. Everything on Earth, which is all we know right now, follows a pattern. And as you can see, on Mars, the rocks don't look wildly different. The sand doesn't look wildly different. It's all under a creepy red sky, but it's still the same general thing. All right? There are always areas of rest. This is something I see wrong again and again and again in creature design for film. There are always areas of rest. There might be a very busy area, like, let's say, the mandibles and the face and the eyes, and then there's going to be a very smooth expanse, perhaps of a chitinous shell or a long glassy surface like the alien's head. You know, I pretty much concentrate on simplicity being the basis of design. To the same end, in a lot of the animations I've seen in general of creatures, of animals, not of exploding buildings or fireballs or spaceships, but living things. One of the things I see animators getting wrong every time is a tendency to slow down the movement and make it extremely sinuous. For instance, animals don't go. Animals go. They look around very quickly. Everything is done, everything. Except for the human species, everything is done with an economy of movement. This is extremely important, and I'm all dead serious now. An economy of movement. When a, I don't know, one of those bighorn African things. When a wildebeest looks around, you know, it's not gonna look around like this. It's gonna do everything in kind of jerky, short movements. When you see people talking to each other, looking around, you know, they're looking around at Autodesk and like, oh, wait, oh, hey, look, there's the best booth of all. It's the Lightwave booth. That's the one I wanted to go see. Come on. You don't see them going, hey, it's the Lightwave booth. Come on, let's go over here.
Yeah.
They're going, hey, come on. I want to see the Lightwave booth. Everything's very jerky. It's really surprising. You know, this fellow just nodded his head in agreement. And he didn't go. He's right. He went, yeah, you guy's a genius. Knows what he's talking about over here. I would love to be, I would love to know these programs so that I could create creatures and get that movement right. You know, or as close to right as I think I can get it. So far, I'm able to convince people that my sculptures are real-ish, real enough that they go, wow, that's crazy. That looks real. If I can do movement that way, and I think I can, that's why I want to learn Lightwave. That's why I want to learn it.
I'm driving over to your studio.
And I want to know you're not
with
invited,
a shiny 11.5 box, and I'm going to make you sit down with me for 10 minutes. I'm going to show you the. Have you seen the rigging tools that Lino's been showing from Genoma?
What is rigging? I don't. You see,
rigging is the skeleton inside the animal.
Well, the pipeline for the rigging is. What the hell are you? Don't even start. You know. What I'm curious about, though, is this going to run on my crappy computer?
Yes.
I don't think so.
What computer do you have?
I don't want to make me say it in front of all these people.
Anyway. Well, let me tell you this.
I have a
No, don't let me say
Macintosh.
it. In 2010, I was on stage on a laptop that was at that time 3 years old.
I have an Apple IIc, man.
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, no. But with a laptop.
I don't.
It was 3 years old, wasn't even multi-core, and it was working. We were demoing on stage with it. So, yes, it will. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely,
you know,
Rob. We'll work together again.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, Jordu Schell, everybody.
Bye.
Shellstudio.com.